Game week 6 already in the Premier League, and for our FPL focus this week, we're going to look at differentials, all owned by under 10% of managers, the majority of which are ultra differentials, owned by 4% or less. So starting goal with Alex McCarthy. Not many people expected Southampton to go to Manchester City and keep a clean sheet. I say not many people, no one. Not even Southampton fans expected that, but they did. They managed to keep a clean sheet. They nearly won it as well. And I think that's a good starting point in goal this week. Alex McCarthy, Southampton against Wolves on Sunday. Wolves really struggling last week against Brentford, and McCarthy is owned by less than 2% of fantasy managers. We've got a mix of kind of on the fringe and big names in the team this week. And two of the three are very big names in defence. Andy Robertson. A lot of people are focused on Trent Alexander-Arnold, may or may not be a doubt for this weekend, probably likely to play. But on the other flank, after the start by Tsimikas, Andy Robertson's kind of gone forgotten. 1.6% of managers have put their faith in Andrew Robertson. He is a nice differential. If you could double up and you know that Trent was playing, that's not a bad option either for Liverpool. And Raphael Varane, he's a big threat from set plays, as is Harry Maguire, who's higher owned, but with just 4% of managers. With Raphael Varane in their squad, he is a tempting differential for you. And Ricardo Pereira as well. There has been some talk that if Leicester do play a 4, he might play on the right-hand side of midfield. If they play a 3, he's probably the right wing-back. But he loves to get forward, loves to get in the box, and at just 3.7% owned, Raphael Varane, Andrew Robertson are joined in defence by Ricardo Pereira of Leicester City. In midfield, now, this is a player who always seems to perform, but usually performs when not many managers have him in their squad. James Ward-Prowse, going back to Southampton against Wolves, just over 3% of managers have James Ward-Prowse. He's on everything, corners, free kicks, you name it. He takes the set plays, and he could be a little diamond in the rough this weekend. Wilfried Zaha, I thought about him and Conor Gallagher. I like them both. Gallagher's been great this season. He's slightly more owned than Wilfried Zaha. He also costs less. I think either player would do you well this weekend with Palace not in action until Monday. Sadio Mane would be the captain of this squad. Mane's getting goals aplenty this season. He seems to have found his scoring touch again, and he's only owned by 2.8% of managers at the time of recording. He's expensive. I know that. You've got Ronaldo, you've got Lukaku, you've got Bruno, you've got Mohamed Salah. But if you want to be a bit different and maybe take a gamble, maybe Sadio Mane isn't a bad shout. Ismaila Sarr, Watford, he really came good last week. A lot of people had him in their squad at the start of the campaign, and he got off to a slow start, but he got a double-digit haul last week, and he has gone up the ownership. He's now over 8%, but he should sneak in under the 10% before the game week gets underway, and I do like his fixture against Newcastle at home. And Andros Townsend as well. A lot of people going Demarai Gray, but Townsend seems to have made that position in the Everton wide midfield his own, and he is owned by around 2% of managers, and they have a decent fixture as well this weekend. And up front, going to go for no big names as far as the Premier League is concerned, but two really good players in their own right. This might be the weekend where Odsonne Edouard gets his start. I saw a lot of him when he was in Scotland with Celtic, and I think at the beginning, when he could be bothered, when he was looking for a move eventually, he's a really, really good player. And his mind just wandered when he thought he was getting a move and it didn't transpire. Forget that. This is a really good player. Celtic fans know how good he can be. I think he starts for Palace. And Adam Armstrong, we're going back to Southampton this weekend. We've got a mixture of youth and experience. We've got a mixture of big names and those under the radar. But the majority are under 5% owned. Every single one is under 10% owned. So if you want some differentials this week, whether it's a wild card or maybe one or two transfers, take a look at some of these players. And if they perform, so will your team. As always, may your arrows be green.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.